Hi, thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring Hermes. I recently picked up my third palette, and this one was a little bit tricky to work with compared to the other two because there's nothing intuitive about this one in terms of where to place the colors. So we're gonna work through that. I also use other Hermes products to get ready, and I picked up one of the mascaras that isn't black. So I picked up a green mascara, and I also picked up a cooler lip, also a lighter lip. So we're trying this on all together. Let's go ahead and get ready. Applying a bit of the Lip Potion by Chantecaille. I had a question about addressing hyperpigmentation first and then going in with the base. Let's actually try that, and let's try something different for a change. We have a Jones Road Beauty. This is the face pencil. I've been trying this in the background, but I put it away and I haven't picked it up for a while, so let's just see how this works. I'm gonna go ahead with this pencil, and I'm doing this because this is a more dry consistency, so I think it might work. The coverage is not as opaque as the Clé de Peau, and this is nice because it's just like a crayon. Next we've got the Chanel Eye Concealer. Okay, so now that we have everything that needs to be concealed, now let's go in with this Plein Air. This is the Hermes product I've been using, and this one is in 50. This does have SPF 30, and a little goes a long way with this because it can go a bit deep on me if I put too much on. So I'm gonna go sparingly with this just to even out the skin tone. Start on the exterior first. So one of the reasons I don't conceal like this is because typically the product I'm putting on top is gonna move around the product underneath. So then I have to fix it anyway, but if I'm really gentle, let's see if we can make this work. So that's what it looks like if I conceal first, but I have to say it does still move some product around, so it just takes more time to do it this way for me, even though I like the results of the texture being more consistent. So I have been wearing this product without powder during the day because it does set really nicely by itself, but it's kind of shiny on camera, but that's the finish that you get. And that's how it looks during the day too, but I don't have all these lights on me during the day, so it's gonna be a different effect. For today's purpose, let's go ahead and powder. Let's use the Hermes powder. Let's take a bit of bronzer. Let's try this REPHR number 22 brush. Just gonna add brows and primer, and let's do the eye. Let's finally get to the eyes. So we've got here the palette number 2, and I was just looking at this thinking, because I haven't used this yet, how am I going to use this when I don't see a crease color? Because typically I'll put something like a neutral tone in the crease, whether it's a gray tone or a brownish tone or taupe. There's nothing like that here. I haven't looked really at any pictures of what they do to apply this. I've quickly glanced at the images, but I haven't really studied it. So I'm gonna go in with this all over the eye. That's my first thought, is let's just get a color all over the eye and we can build on that. And that's the most neutral of the colors that I see here. So let's go ahead, and I've got just a REPHR number 1 Max. Even though there's like a bronzy tone in there, it almost has a grayish hue to it. Let's just add this to the center right now, this shade, and see how that looks, because I want to see what we can do with something for a daily look. These more shimmery colors, I noticed the more fine the layer, the more refined it looks. So I prefer a more fine layer. Let's go in with the mascara now. I want to try 2 different things. We'll of course add some of the other shades later, but let's just pause here in case this is the degree of makeup that you like. Let's go in with the green mascara on this side, and then we'll put black and then green on this. So I'm really curious. I think this is such a pretty color. Now I feel like it's going to be a little bit hard to see because I already put green down, but I think now is a good time to try this, and then we'll let it dry and then build from there. So I just want to see how this looks on lashes directly. I do like the Hermes mascara formula. Yeah, it's quite subtle, as you can see. Okay, let's try something and see if there's a difference, because I'm curious. I'm gonna go in with the black mascara first here, and then we'll add the green on top. Okay, so you can see though that the black definitely provides a lot more definition at first, but let's build this green one up a little bit more and see what happens. Okay, and then let's put another coat of black on the side. It definitely is a different look. Okay, let's go in with one more green coat over here. So this will make 3 coats of green. And while we're letting this dry, because I want to add green on top when it's a little bit dry, because I don't want to mix the colors, let's go in with Rose Pomette, because I want to do a pinkier cheek today. REPHR 19 here. This is what happens when I don't pay attention. So I was looking at the eye makeup here while I was doing my blush, and that's how it ended up down there. It's not watching. We're gonna need to fix that. So let's go in with Perfect Blur Powder, of course. Gonna help us out. That went way too low. I'm noticing I'm a little bit shiny right under the nose there. I'm gonna go in with the Clé de Peau there. And this is in Honey. Okay, now let's try the green on top of the black. Let's see what effect that has. I feel like it's gonna give it more depth, more definition, because I'm not getting that kind of definition I really like with just the green. So I think I prefer this black mascara and then the green, because I'm not getting the definition I typically get with just the green mascara. So let's see if we can build on this. This might get a bit bulky here, but let's try. Let's go in with that black mascara on this side and see if we can kind of even them out. So we'll do black mascara. Yeah, the black mascara builds that nice volume that I like, or at least the appearance of volume. Now let's let that dry. While we're letting that dry, let's go ahead and add a little bit of glow. So we have here Mirage. I'm gonna just take the same brush I just used for blush, just a touch of glow. Let's just take a bit down the bridge of the nose. Let's go in with the green mascara again on this side, just to even everything out. We're at that tipping point where it starts to get a little bit bulky on the ends. Let me just remove some of that excess. Let's let that dry, and while we're letting that dry, let's go in with Victoria Beckham's contour while we let that dry. Okay, and then let's go in with the lip right now, because I really want to make sure that mascara is dry before we do anything else to the eyes. We've got this one, which is the cooler shade that you recommended. It's number 18. It's a satin finish, and I love this shade, number 21, but it's a bit warmer, so I was looking for a cooler, so this was a recommendation from you. So it's also a bit lighter, but it's really pretty. These are really nice and smoothing on the lips. They really apply really nicely. So it's a bit light, but also it is cooler though, so I do like that. And it's interesting that this blush is coming across as still a little bit warm, even though it's quite pink. It's still got some warmth to it. Okay, let's continue playing with the eye. So we've got here these beautiful shades I have not tried yet. So let's build. Let's take this let's take this 15 mini. I do like this green because there's a lot of depth to the green. There's a little bit of blue in there, some grayish tones in there. So it's a more serious kind of a green shade versus something like blurry green. Not that blurry green is not, got some mascara up there. Not that blurry green is not a serious palette, but it's definitely more what you would think of as green. There's quite a pretty steel blue tone to this. It's really nice. A unique shade. So just like that blue palette, it's doing a nice job of blending nicely that deeper shade. It's not dry or patchy, which can happen with the darker shades. Especially if you're trying to blend it into the crease, it can be kind of an issue. But it's really working out nicely. I'm going to take this initial shade that we worked with, and then let's put that in the crease a little bit more. Here, a 15. Let's blend that in. going in a little bit more heavy-handedly just so you can see the shadows, but you can also see that it's like a white, goldish, very light, goldy champagne kind of shade, which I think is really interesting. It's like almost a deep sage. So this tone is tucked in here very slightly, but you can see it when you build it up. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's kind of deceptive, this color, because it looks like it's going to be just this matte sagey green color, but there's a lot going on there, and the more you build it up, the more you can see it. It's really pretty. Let's take the Raymore 6.5 and let's just blend like so. That's what I meant to do. Okay, we want to go ahead and try this as an eyeliner. So let's go with this shade here. It's gonna, I know, a little bit hard to see that I've done mascara already, but let's go in really close to the lash line. I think Hermes does a nice job of including a color that can be used as an eyeliner. So there's the difference between using an eyeliner and not using an eyeliner. Let's use this color because we haven't tried that out. I'm gonna use it as an eyeliner here. Let's see what that looks like. I'm really curious. Oh, you can see it right there. Oh, that's pretty. It's not as fluorescent as I thought it would be. Actually quite nice. You can see that it pops. It's nice and subtle though. It's very small detail, but it makes it a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and add this now on top of the deeper color. Again, I like the idea of creating that depth first and then this pop of color, like with the mascara. So I prefer that. I prefer the deeper color first and then the brighter color, because it elevates it a little bit. So let's go in with the deep color now. And then let's go in with the bright color. Okay, yeah, really pretty on brown eyes. So let's go in and just clean up the corners. We'll go in with Clé de Peau here. Okay, and then let's take Trench, of course, right under the eye. I'm going to take a little bit more of this color and just blend a little bit better. Next, what I'd like to do is add a little bit more color and just a hint of warmth back, and then we'll go in and add a little bit of the cooler tone back. So I'm going to mix two of the lip shades. So let me remove this one. So I'm going in with 21, which you can see has more brightness, more warmth. That's a little too warm for me, so I'm going to take this color that I picked up and let's add it back. So you can see it cools it down just slightly. So out of all of the shadows, this is probably the most unique one I've tried so far. I love both of the previous palettes I tried, but really the green tones in here are quite unique. So this one has more intermittent shimmer than, say, the brown in that blue palette I recently tried out. You definitely can build this up, but it's not going to build up intense color as much as it is going to build up more of a glow, which I think is really interesting. So I thought I was just going to keep getting deeper and deeper with this, but it's got glowier and glowier the more is that a word? Glowier and glowier. It got more glowy the more I added layers on. So it's really pretty, unexpectedly easy to blend, which is not what I anticipated either, which is nice. This shade right here, beautiful. It's got like a marine blue kind of tone to it, like a really deep ocean color. So this isn't quite that, but it has a lot of those elements. There's a bluish grayish tone in here that is really stunning. So it doesn't even really come across as green on the eye, but it's beautiful. I think it's one of the prettiest colors I've seen. And this also complemented things really nicely because you get a bit of that tone in this shade right here. And then you have here this pop of color, which I think is so, so pretty as an eyeliner on top of the deeper shade. So going in with this deep shade first, and then on top with this. I think it's really stunning. It is quite a soft look compared to what I thought we'd get out of it. Then the mascara, really pretty, but I definitely would go in with the black mascara first and then do a top coat with the green mascara. Because when I went in with the green mascara first, it was just like, it looked like feathers almost. It was kind of thin, the appearance of my lashes compared to the black mascara first and then adding the color. So I love the lip as well, but I think a smokier eye would have been really nice with this. I think if I smoked this palette out and made it really dramatic. I think that first shade would look really pretty with that. But for this look, I think we just need a little bit of a deeper lip and just a hint of warmth. Let me know about the other mascara shades, if you picked any of those up, what you think of them. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.